So let's talk about a few things that the new Toyota Tacoma, the 2024, is missing that I kind of wish I still had or had at all. The first one, we kind of have to step inside a little bit, is HomeLink. Now, I realize if you go to higher trim levels or maybe greater or bigger packages that you have to pay for, of course, you can get HomeLink. But I would think in this day and time that we live in, HomeLink should be included. I mean, they can get rid of some of the nanny features in lieu of putting in HomeLink. We don't have it. You can see on the mirror here, there's no buttons or anything like that. And really, unless you change out the mirror, you can't even add it. Now, speaking of the mirror, another thing I have noticed, this area up here, it almost seems kind of unfinished. Open, if you will, when you really look at it. Kind of odd. So what I've done for HomeLink, and there are videos on the channel about how I do this, but you may have noticed in some of the videos these buttons here. These buttons are momentary switches that I've added for garage door openers or gates or whatever. And all I did was just pop these out, and you can do that by lifting up or pulling up on the console area here. It's just held in by clips as usual. And then you can pull them out from the back. Drilled holes in them and then connected these up to my garage door opener and a gate opener, I guess. It's kind of my form of HomeLink, and I mean, I like it being here, don't get me wrong, and it was a fun little project, but nonetheless, I think Toyota should be standard in incorporating it into the mirror there. And yeah, I know not everybody has a garage door or a garage at all, but nonetheless, it would be one of those handy little features that Toyota could include. Next up, a place for a freaking phone mount. You know, there is nowhere in this truck that I have discovered so far, and I'm waiting for the aftermarketers to catch up, right? But there's no good place to put a substantial or sturdy phone mount. In the last Tacoma, we had the bezel area right across the radio there, where you could pop off, and then across the back of it, back behind here, you could actually mount a bracket where you could put the little nubs in and attach a mount for your phone. It was very handy for me anyway. And speaking personally, that's one thing that I really miss. There's just nowhere to mount a phone up where it's visible and you can keep your eyes on the road. Of course, we have the charger area down here if you got that option, where you would sit your phone. But if you're looking at your phone for some reason, and I know you're not supposed to do that, right? Then you're taking your eyes off the road. You're looking down here. I know it's kind of a personal thing, right? But nonetheless, it would have been nice to have some area similar to what we had in the last Tacoma to be able to put a phone mount. Now, this next one may not apply if you're not, you know, a modder or ever pop the hood to check out underneath in your Tacoma. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to pop the hood because I have found that I really miss this for two reasons. Let's go ahead, we'll pop the hood. And of course, I don't have struts on here yet, probably because nobody has come up with any good way to do it. So I'm going to sit you guys down there for a moment, and we're going to go ahead and put the stupid rod up there. There we go. What I'm talking about, wow, it's starting to get a little dirty under here already. What I'm talking about is a way, and maybe you can do it here, I don't know. Since this has a turbo in it, I'm a little reluctant to start messing with more mechanical components, I suppose. But I'm talking about an aftermarket cold air intake, or an aftermarket intake of any fashion, I guess. You know, I've had them in, I think, every Tacoma I ever had, and it's just a fun way to personalize the truck a bit. In the last truck that I had, the electric lime, I had the open intake here, and then I had the tube that ran, in the case of the other Tacoma, over to here, and customized that to match the truck. In other words, I painted it green. It was just an eye-catching look, I guess, underneath the hood. Speaking of underneath the hood, what is this? What is this? We have no engine air, or no engine cover, I should say. Just an open engine. Now, did Toyota do that to reduce cost? Yeah, probably. I mean, certainly they could have fashioned some sort of a cover for this area, but now it's just all wide open, and look at all that stuff on the engine. I mean, look at all the electrical connections, all the plugs and wires and everything else that's on top of this engine. It's everywhere. Way more than what we had on the last truck. Is that really a big problem? I don't know if it's a big problem, but nonetheless, kind of like the intake over here for aesthetics under the hood, it would have been nice to have some sort of an engine cover. And I'm sure in the aftermarket, there are probably going to be things out there that are offered, but I'll tell you, looking at all of the tubing and wires and stuff on top of this engine, I don't know how you would even put something on here from the aftermarket. You would have to add some sort of bracketry or something, and that would be a little bit concerning to me. All right, let's go ahead, put the hood down. We're going to get to the last one. Of course, I have to have two hands to do this right now. Certainly, there's got to be some hood struts coming for the new Tacoma, I would hope. Lastly, and this I go back and forth on because I don't really mind it too much with the new Tacoma, but size. This truck feels so much bigger than what the third generation did, and I think it's merely, I know the dimensions did change a bit, but I think what adds to the aesthetics or the look of the truck when it comes to size is the extra, I guess, lines and things they put in it. You know, we've got this deeper indentation along the door area here. We've got what appears to be, and it may be just an illusion because of this kind of line or extension here on the fenders, but the fender flares. We do have the venting in the front, which, by the way, I kind of like that. So I guess you kind of have to have this to have that, right? Not such a big deal. The chunky door handles, they just make the truck look bigger. And then, of course, over on the other side, we now have a bigger gas filler area with more, I guess, contouring or lines and stuff in the truck. It just makes it feel a lot bigger. I know when I'm sitting in the driver's seat running around and I pull up next to maybe an older Tundra or an older F-150, whatever, Chevy, doesn't matter, full size, I feel like I'm almost as big as they are. It's just a weird feeling being in the Toyota Tacoma. Anyway, that's just kind of an added extra, I guess. I kind of miss the size of the third gen a little bit, or at least the feel of it. Leave a comment, let me know. Is there anything, if you've gotten the new 2024, or maybe you're looking at it, that it doesn't have that you wish that it did? And I'm not talking about the V6 engine. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.